Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can get a Mexican IP address. Now, your IP address stands for Internet Protocol Address, and basically is the unique network number everybody gets when they connect to the internet. Now, you can't use the internet with an IP address, and it has to be a valid and unique one. But an IP address also helps websites determine your location, so they can figure out where you are. Now, this doesn't sound a bad thing. Sometimes it's quite good. I mean, Google will tailor your search requests based on your location. You'll get big multimedia sites which will tailor the content, so if a different language required or whatever based on your location. So sometimes it's good, but it's also hugely restrictive. Your IP address is more often than not used to block access. Now you can see here there's a little site called Where Is My Location, and this has looked up my IP address and found my general location, which is in sort of North Wales in the UK, and you can see that quite clearly there. Now, what if I wanted a Mexican IP address? What if I wanted to access a Mexican website? What if I wanted to access Mexican Netflix? I would need basically a Mexican IP address. So I've got two options. I can either go to Mexico and connect to the internet via there, or I can use something called a VPN. So I'm just going to show you that now. So this is a tool that I think everybody should have, really. It's called a VPN, and it stands for Virtual Private Network. This one is owned by NordVPN, which I think is the most popular in the world. And you can see here there's a little map. It sits in your toolbar there, and there's lots of servers all over the world. Now, when a virtual private network, when you connect to a VPN server, it has two main things happen, really. First, it creates this virtual tunnel to this server, and it keeps all your data encrypted and safe. So it's kind of essential to use if you're traveling or you want to keep passwords and usernames and email accounts private, especially when you're using unsecured wireless networks that you know nothing about. The second is it actually changes your location, because any website you visit will only be able to see the location of the VPN server. So if you connect to a German VPN server, it will look like you're in Germany. If you connect to one in Belgium, you'll look like you're in Belgium, and so on. Here we want to look like we're in Mexico. Okay, so I'm just going to connect to a Mexican VPN server. This is NordVPN connecting to a Mexico server. They've got quite a few servers in Mexico. I can't remember how many. I think it was about 20 or 30 anyway. And I'm connected. Right, okay, so it won't look very different, but I now have a Mexican IP address that I'm browsing the internet with. So let me just go and show you now. Let's go to this My Location site. As you remember, I was based in North Wales, UK. It resolved my IP address. Now it has looked at my new IP address, which is Mexican. So let me just scroll up. I don't know much about Mexico. And you can see here, it's actually got me listed in, I can't actually pronounce that. Anyway, it's in Mexico. Hopefully you can see this is in Mexico. I say I won't make a fool of myself by trying to pronounce it, but basically it's a Mexican IP address there. Somewhere it looks like quite a bit in the middle of Mexico. Okay, let me close that now. Okay, so I can just demonstrate now as well. Let's look at what's happened to Netflix now. If I go into Netflix, now Netflix is a global account, so basically once you've got a subscription, it'll work anywhere in the world. And basically I log straight on, but it actually determines what you see based on your IP address. Let me just stop that for a minute. So basically Netflix will now look at my IP address and say, he's got a Mexican IP address. I will give him the Mexican version of Netflix. Okay. Now, a lot of it's very similar. I mean, say it is a global platform, but you'll get a bias towards different programs. You'll actually get more of a difference if you've actually got your computer, your device set up as Mexican. You'll get a full difference there. But here you'll just get access to different films and movies. And the easiest way to see, if we scroll down, is the difference. You'll see here we've got top 10 TV programs in Mexico, so it's the Mexican version of Netflix. There'll be different films, different movies. We scroll up, there'll be top 10 films in Mexico. You're seeing the Mexican version of Netflix, and simply because I've just popped into the VPN and changed my IP address, so I could equally go and watch the German version of Netflix or the American version of Netflix. That's the one people mainly use because the American version's got loads more movies and films than anybody else, even though they pay the same money. But, well, who said life was fair, eh? And, of course, a Mexican IP address will give you access to all sorts of Mexican-only websites. So if for some reason you need to access any Mexico sites and you're getting blocked, just change to a Mexico IP address. When you finish, just disconnect. If I disconnected my VPN now and restarted Netflix, I'd get the normal version. Remember, you can find yourself getting blocked from different countries because a Mexican IP address won't give you access to British-only websites or German-only websites and so on. So hopefully you understand, and hopefully I've explained it reasonably well. If you want to use the VPN that I use, NordVPN, there's a discount link in the description below. But there are lots of VPNs. If you need Mexico, just check they've got Mexican servers before you subscribe. The bigger ones generally have Mexico, but not all of them. Okay, right. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed my video. Bye for now.